connector right here. Just use a pocket screwdriver. Just slide this off, pull up on the tab, slide it out of the way. Take these brake hoses off or brake lines off. Use a 14mm wrench. You can use a line wrench. Just gonna break it free first. Slide that off and out of the way. Then the back one, do the same, take that one off. Go take that out. You may have some fluid coming out, so if you want, you could put a drain bucket underneath. There's two nuts you have to take off that are on either side of the master cylinder. Use a 15mm socket. Take those off. Grab the master and just slide it out. Be careful, don't get any of the brake fluid on the paint of the vehicle. We're going to start out by bench bleeding the master before we install it in the car. I'm just going to put a rag on one of the ears and we'll put this in a vise just so the vise doesn't ruin the surface. Just snug, not too tight. Open the cap, put the appropriate brake fluid in there. It says on the cap what type of fluid to use. We'll fill it up. Now they do make brake bleeding hoses that connect right here, and then the hose will go into the reservoir. But if you don't have them, you can do it this way. Pop these caps off. And making sure your gloves are clean. You put your fingers over the holes gently. We're going to push with a screwdriver. Push it all the way in. And then seal up the holes with your fingers. Then pull back. Then let off. Push, you see some fluid come out. I'm just going to prevent the fluid from going. Oops. And then hold the holes, let out. You're just trying to bleed the air out. Basically like bleeding your brakes, but on a bench. And that looks pretty good right there. So for now, I'm just going to put these caps back on so it doesn't bleed all over the place. And then we can install it in the vehicle. Now slide the master over the booster. Take the nuts, get those started. And we're going to torque these nuts to 27 foot-pounds. Now we can take these caps off, take the back one off first, and then install the brake hose, the line. Get that started. Just going to leave that snug, and then take the other one off. And get this brake line on. All right, these are both snug. Now what I'm going to do is have an assistant in the vehicle press down on the brake pedal. Go ahead, press down on the brake pedal slowly and hold it. And then I'm just going to crack this open. Just bleed a little bit of the air out and then close it. All right, let up. And then I'm going to do the same for the back one. Go ahead, slowly push down. Then open the back one. Get some of the air out of there. And then close it. And push down. And I just did that a couple times, so that's good. I'll snug these up. Now I'll just clean this up a little bit, use some brake parts cleaner. Should be good. And find the connector, plug the connector back in, lock it down. Now I'm going to raise the vehicle up and take all the wheels off, starting with the right rear. Use a screwdriver, take the center cap off. Take a 19mm socket, take all the lug nuts off. Take the wheel off. Now take the cap off the bleeder screw. You can use a pick or a screwdriver. And make sure you have a drain bucket underneath. Take a 10mm wrench, loosen up the bleeder screw. And we want to let that gravity bleed out. Make sure you check the level in the master cylinder, and you want to do that to all the bleeder screws and let it drain out for a few minutes. After that's bled out for a while, you can close all the bleeder screws, just snug them up. Now we're going to bleed the brakes. We're going to start with the right rear caliper. Have an assistant pump the brake pedal. Go ahead, pump the brake pedal. Nice and slow. About 3 times. And then hold it. While they're holding it, I'm going to open the bleeder screw. That'll look pretty clean, not any air in there. Close it up. Okay, go ahead, pump it again. And hold it. Open the bleeder screw. Close it up. And pump it again. And hold it. Oops. And that looks pretty good. Close that up. Snug that up. All right, go ahead, pump it. All right, you can stop. After you do the right rear, you want to move on to the left rear, do the same thing, and then the right front, and then finally the left front. After that, you want to check your brake fluid level. And put the wheel on. Put the lug nuts on. Now I'm going to torque these lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. And go back around again, double check. Take the center cap, line it up where the valve stem goes. Goes right there. And you can do the same with the other wheels. Then check the fluid level and adjust accordingly.